We finally got a set lobby finals with so many of our brand new official duos, and in today's video we are going to go over exactly how that tournament went. Real quick before this video starts though, please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are currently on the road to 120,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to help me reach that goal, please just hit that sub button and turn on notifications. Apparently Fortnite is doing this really cool event where they're actually giving double the earnings on supported creator for this weekend. So if you want to support me even more, you guys know the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. As we always do for these tournaments though, let's quickly go over the opens, talk about everybody that was able to qualify, who failed to qualify, how they looked, and then we'll go way more in depth for the finals. So the duo that was in first place of the opens for NA was actually none other than Agers and Iyamzo. Now, a lot of people honestly want to say that this could be one of the potential duos. That it's crazy that we're already saying this, even though we don't have FNCS for like 6 months, but people want to say that Agers and Iyamzo have a real chance at stopping Peterbot and Pollo. They finished with 333 points, won 2 out of their 7 matches, and surprisingly, they also were able to lead this entire tournament with elims, getting 117 total elims. So yeah, huge shout out to Agers and Iyamzo. They're looking really good so far. Second place is Kenty, third place is Rapid and Threats, fourth place is Blake and Zen, fifth place is Cole, sixth place is Clix and Higgs on 260. This duo also looked really good today. Higgs had like a pretty crazy solo clutch in one of their opens matches, but we definitely have a lot more to talk about with them later on. Seventh place was Joji and Donnie, eighth place was Taki and Vert, ninth place was our first look at the brand new duo of Arc and Kanata. They finished on 255 points, won 2 out of their 6 matches, and got 61 total elims as well. It seems like Kanata and Arc are already building that duo chemistry up, and I really just can't wait to see these guys play the Div Cups next week. I really do believe that they have the potential to be a top 5 duo on NA. And then rounding up the top 10 was Aiden. Our other big names that were able to qualify to the finals was 16th place of Re and Curve, 17th place of Josh and Chance. We had Peterbot and Pollo in 22nd place. They finished with 226 points, won 1 out of their 7 matches, and got the second most elims in this tournament with 93 total elims. So this was the first Eval Cup finals that they were able to qualify for since duos have come back. G-Money and Rise finished in 24th, Muzz and Miro in 29th. This is a very interesting one because if you go into Sphinx's chat and you type !duo, it says that his official duo is Cooper now. If you guys watched my video yesterday, you guys will know that Muzz and Sphinx were pretty much the only main really good NA team that wasn't able to make it into finals, and I did say that was a little bit of a level of concern just because, especially in a 2-day opens format on NA especially, if you're a good team, you should be able to qualify every single week. But it looks like Muzz and Sphinx have officially split up, and Sphinx is 100% playing with Cooper now, and they finished in 39th place. Muzz, if I just had to make an assumption here, his official duo is probably not going to be Miro. But yeah, very interesting already having some duo switch ups after just like 2 weeks of tournaments. And then we had Shadow and Tyler in 42nd, but that was about it for all of our big name duos that were able to make it to the finals. So unfortunately, literally just 1 spot off of being able to qualify, we had 51st place of Booga and Craze. I mean, they literally missed out on qual by only 3 points to this finals. As I always say for these Eval Cups though, never necessarily worried about any of these teams that are not able to qualify, especially because pretty much every single one of them was able to make the Div Cup finals, which matters infinitely more than this tournament. Like 68th place of Acorn and Bolts also not being able to make it to the finals. And then the first duo Eval Cup that Ritual and Cold played together, they finished in 87th place, only got 179 points in 7 total matches and 57 total elims. I mean, we know that these guys had struggles when they were playing the trio Eval Cups with Peter. I'm interested to see if these struggles continue on now to duos as well. But let's actually move on to the finals now and talk about how all of these duos looked that were able to qualify. Now in the finals, we got to see our fair share of drama, but also our fair share of dominance from none other than who else would it be besides Peterbot and Pollo. I mean, just look at this match history right here, man. They got a 7 elimination 6th, 12 elimination win, 9 elimination win, and a 12 elimination 2nd. I know we have been saying this so often recently, but things really are looking scary. Not just for NA, but for the entire Fortnite comp scene in general. These guys literally got an average placement of 2.5 in their first ever set lobby finals ever since duos have come back, with a real chance to potentially win 3 out of the 4 games in this tournament as well. Peterbot even went on to tweet out winning 6 out of 6 in the Cash Cup finals, so he is very confident going into this weekend as well. Something that is pretty impressive with this also is there is still no crash pads in the game, and I feel like the crash pads really do benefit a duo like Peterbot and Pollo, who just want to make absolutely psycho hype plays because they have the skill to be able to just fight whoever is on high ground. So them winning almost 3 games without it shows that, for one, Peter has looked like a very solid duo IGL so far again, and 2, once crash pads come back, I think they might look even better somehow. Second place though, one of our 2 duos that was actually able to stop Peterbot and Pollo was Agers and Yamzo. They looked very good in the tournament today, getting a 2 elimination 22nd, 7 elimination 6th, 3 elimination 8th, and a 10 elimination win. And in the very final game that they got their 10 elimination win in, they actually won a 2v2 fight versus Peterbot and Pollo for the win. So I want to roll how that fight went.
Is making sure not to give it up. They finally drop down from above. Higgs is going to be the first one to go down. Now they're on the chase, trying to clean up Clix as well. The siphon comes into play, but Peterbot, he's trying to play safe. He's trying to play together with his teammate. Rapid by himself. Clix, a solo. Agers, Yamzo, the only other duo left in this game. The only ones that can possibly stop the onslaught of Peterbot and Pollo and deny them the back-to-back-to-back hat trick. As it comes down to a 2v2 situation. Nice shot by Agers. Big flank by him. Yamzo as well, dealing some damage, getting it down onto Pollo. 2v1 situation here. Peterbot is trying to go for a sneak attack, a weird angle. He's going to land a quick shot, but so is Yamzo, keeping him backwards in towards zone. He doesn't have very many heals, sacrificing a lot of HP, but he takes shot after shot from Yamzo and Agers. They clutch up in game 4 with 10 eliminations.
Like I was saying in the opens, man, there's not going to be very many teams that can keep up with fighting ability, especially because, I mean, Peter and Pollo literally got 18 more elims than anybody else in this tournament. But Agers and Yamzo show that if they get into a 2v2 engagement versus Peter and Pollo, they're not just gonna fall over and let them win, and they themselves can even beat them. So this was a very promising sign for this duo, and I'm excited to see the rivalries that come from this in the future. Third place though, probably our most surprising duo that was able to get a win, winning game number 1, the double controller duo of Re and Curve, got an 8 elimination win. He didn't necessarily have any of the craziest games after that, but hey, any duo that's able to take away wins from Peter and Pollo in these types of lobbies is always going to be impressive. Moving on with the rest of the leaderboard, the duos that were not able to get wins today but still played very well was 4th place, the brand new duo of Cooper and Sphinx. Their best matches was a 9 elimination 2nd, 7 elimination 7th, and a 5 elimination 9th. Sphinx is the one that is IGLing this duos, it looks like, from me watching them, but I wouldn't be surprised if at times they also go to some co-IGLing roles as well. But this also probably means that we do have fragging Cooper back. 5th place was Rapid and Threats. Their best games of the day were a 10 elimination 8th and an 8 elimination 3rd. There is a lot of rumors circling around these guys that if Rapid is not satisfied with playing with Threats, and if Bolt somehow isn't satisfied with playing with Acorn, then we could get the reuniting between Bolt and Rapid. But I think a lot of people are just thinking way too far ahead right now, and we still have an entire Cash Cup finals this weekend, which is going to determine a lot of things. But Rapid and Threats so far have looked very solid. 6th place was Josh and Chance. They were, believe it or not, the 2nd most consistent team of the day, getting an average placement of 7.5. Their best matches were a 5 elimination 2nd, 9 elimination 2nd, and a 2 elimination 5th. I have been saying that I think this could be a very underrated duo, and they showed just why today. 7th place was Jamidi, 8th place was Zavi, 9th place was Joji and Donnie, and then rounding out the top 10 is where we got some of our drama. It is Clix and Higgs. Now, Clix and Higgs today only had 1 game inside of the top 10 where they got an 8 elimination 4th, of course. But that wasn't the main talking point for this duo. The main thing that everybody was talking about was their drama that they had versus Kanata. So before I roll the clips, a little bit of backstory on this. It's pretty much a very similar situation to what we saw last season, where Clix, according to Kanata, was taking his loot. So this led to a lot of mid-game fights between both Clix and Kanata, and this is how those fights ended up going, and also what Kanata had to say about it and what Clix had to say about it after they both eliminated each other, because these duos really were going back and forth.
He's gonna be the same HP as you. Nice. You have good math. You're literally, yo, these kids don't ever do that shit, Clix. Don't ever try that. It's all good. All good. Don't worry about it, bro.
What is Clix doing, bro?
Clix is genuinely the stupidest team alive. Swear to God, they're so stupid. Like, they literally piss me off, bro. Look at this! Bro. Look at their loot! Look at their loot! What do they want? Look at their POI! Look at this! What do they need? Wait, explain it to me. I'm so confused. What? A flag? A flag? What do you want me to do? Land Swarby? Brother, I got 7 chests!
And then in the finals, we got to see them actually contest each other. And this is how the first fight went.
Yep. There they are. It's only one chance. Go for a far one if you can. I got pump. Are you? Done. Kim. Thanks. Run. It's all you. I don't have a gun. Carry body. Who'd you kill?
Arc. It's a shit one. We're good.
Coming to you. Come. I'm in. Box. Done. Shit. Hold. Yeah, okay, hold up. Make sure nobody's on us. Chill. Watch around, okay?
After that, Kanata ended up winning the next fight, but he didn't really say anything about it, so there's not really much point in showing the clip, but I'm pretty sure they went 1-1 in the finals. I don't know how long this is actually going to last for. Right now, it is kind of just both of them trying to claim the loot that they want for the rest of the season. It is very important, and it could turn into a potential ego battle if both of them just don't want to leave. In a way, I a little bit agree with what Kanata was saying. Clix definitely does have a lot more loot than them, but all of this is just off spawn drop spot politics at the end of the day. And if Clix and Higgs say they want the loot and they're gonna fight over it, there's nothing Kanata can really do about it. Either has to fight them every single game or eventually leave, which is what we saw happen last season before globals. I do love the confidence from both of these teams though, and I'm very excited to see how this actually plays out. Some other duos we had was like 12th place of G Money and Rise, Arc and Kanata in 14th. Their best game of the day was a 6 elimination 13th, Buzz and Miro in 18th, and I can't even lie, they didn't even look that bad. They got a 6 elimination 2nd and a 2 elimination 6th. I mean, maybe there's a chance that we see Muzz and Miro reunite. They did win an FNCS together before, if you guys remember, when they used to play trios with Booga. But I just really don't see it happening as of now. And then that was about it for all of our big names in this eval finals. All right, so I've been sitting here refreshing this website for about 30 minutes waiting for these stats to update, but they literally just aren't, because I mean, if you look at the total elims right here, 18 plus 10 is only 28 total elims for Peter and Pollo, and that is clearly not right. But I know if you do go to the actual leaderboard, you can see their individual team stats. So I'll show the main ones that you guys probably care about right here. You see Peter finished with 27 total elims, 7,000 damage, and a 3.1 damage ratio. But we can't act like Pollo finishing with 13 elims while playing support isn't impressive as well, and getting a 1.68 damage ratio. They both just look absolutely primed up right now, and they are both full grinding as well. Here is Adriz and Yamzo as well. Both of them also look super good. 13 elims for Adriz, 9 for Yamzo as the IGL, and also a 2.31 damage ratio for him. And then I'll also show the last duo that was able to get a win today between Re and Curve. Both finished with 7 total elims. So pretty solid stats from all of our game winners today. Let's actually move on to how EU went now. Now in EU, I can't even lie to you guys, this was one of the more stacked EU eval finals I feel like we have seen in a while. Let's of course though start off with everybody that was even able to make it into the finals. We have like first place of Pablo and Marius on 287 points. They won 2 out of their 7 matches and finished with 71 total elims, which was the most elims in this entire tournament. I have a feeling that this is going to be a very good, especially eval opens team, just because they are so good at fighting. And we even got to see a nasty 1v2 for the win from Marius posted.
Pick up. Toner. Toner.
Second place was Pix and Demas. They also looked very good in this tournament today. Another one of the duos that is also qualified for the Cash Cup finals on Saturday, as well as what first place of Pablo and Marius did. So very excited to see how they actually do in that. Third place was Della, 4th place was Repairs, 5th place was Tarps, 6th place was Momsy and Sato, 7th place was Darkos, 8th place was Combeck and Shark, 9th place was Akira, and then rounding out the top 10 was Marcus. Like I said earlier though, we had a lot of really good duos qualified to this finals, like 12th place of Chap and Flixie, Pink and Ankiduo in 37th place, the duo that I have been wanting to see play together for so long now. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that the main rumored person that I always said MrSavage should pick up has been focus, and that is exactly what he did for the Eval Cup today. It looks like they are finally officially trying out, and they finished in 38th place, got 209 points, won 1 out of their 7 matches, and finished with 36 total elims as well. We also got to see an absolutely disgusting play from MrSavage onto Ferdoxy's team in the opens today, so I want to roll how that fight went.
Han er på os, han er på os. 100. Nå, der var hullet bare. Savage, bro. Der var hullet bare. Of
course, though, we'll talk about these guys more in the finals, but I absolutely loved especially how focus looked in the opens. They started off this tournament pretty rough, but then were able to clutch up the qual, getting a 16 elimination win and a 4 elimination 4th. We had Mongrel and Marco in 40th place. Not 100% sure if this is like an official duo or if it's just a team that was kind of just trying out today. I'm assuming Mongrel is kind of just going through a couple of his different options on who he could potentially be playing duos with, but Mongrel just always seems to be a very solid Eval Cup player in general. I feel like we see him qualify to so many of these Eval finals. We then had Queasy and Vino in 48th, just barely being able to qualify. But speaking of duos that were just barely able to qual, we have 50th place. Literally the last team to be able to qual was Chino and Ferdoxy on 202. So unfortunately, like we always do for these Eval Cups, we still had a lot of duos that were not able to qual, just since it is only a 7-game format. Like 60th place of Merstash and Tayson, Trulex and Chicho in 74th, Malabuka and Panzer in 82nd. And then I know we also had like Seti and Yapko not be able to qualify, Swizzy and Venya not be able to qualify. And I mean, any other big name that I didn't go over was also not able to qual, unfortunately. Am I worried about any of those duos? No, obviously not. It's an Eval Cup, and most of them literally qualified for the tournament that matters, which was the Div Cup finals. Let's actually move on to how the finals of the Eval Cup went now, though. Now in the finals, the big names really showed out. Let's start off with the duo that finished in first place of this. We just talked about how they were barely even able to qualify for the finals, but then in the finals, they were able to finish in first place. It is Chino and Ferdoxy. They won 1 out of the 4 matches and finished with the 2nd most elims in this entire tournament, getting 20 total elims in 4 matches today. Their match history was a 7 elimination 4th, 3 elimination 35th, 8 elimination win, and a 2 elimination 27th. We also got to see them in even more fights versus MrSavage in the mid game, but Ferdoxy's team was still able to win a game at the end of the day. I still think they probably are one of the best fighting duos in the entire world, and especially with Ferdoxy streaming in the future now as well, I'm very excited to see how these guys continue to look. Second place though, another duo that I could just say the exact same things for is Chap and Flixy. They won 1 out of their 4 matches, which was the 2nd game where they got a 10 elimination win, and then they finished the tournament with 19 total elims. This is also another duo that fought MrSavage today. It seemed like Savage was just getting in engagements with so many of these super good duos, and unfortunately this time for Savage, it didn't end so well.
Oh my god. Savage's shot. Oh, Savage. No.
The fighting potential of Chap and Flixy is also just so scary. Another one of these teams that I have no doubt could 100% be one of the best fighting teams in the entire world. They were also able to get their first Eval Cup win of the season. Super excited to see what they do in the finals this weekend. Third place was Pix and Demus. These guys continue to just look so good, so consistent. They were able to win the last game of the day where they got a 7 elimination win, but they also had a 5 elimination 3rd before that as well. The chemistry looks like it is transferring over from trios into duos now for these guys, and I've loved what I've seen out of them so far. And then the last team in 4th place, the one that was able to win game number 1 today, also the only duo that almost won multiple games today, was Darm and Blaha. A lot of people had question marks on who was Darm going to play with, because once Pix and Demus decided to duo with each other, Darm unfortunately was the odd man out. He ended up picking up Blaha for this Eval Cup, and they got a 4 elimination win and a 3 elimination 2nd. Only finished with 8 total elims in this tournament, so didn't necessarily look the craziest fragging wise, but obviously when you're playing an Eval Cup, your only main goal is to be able to win a game, and they were able to do exactly that. Moving on to the duos that weren't able to win games but still looked very solid today, we have like 5th place of Queasy and Vino. They got a 3 elimination 6, 7 elimination 12, 5 elimination 6, and a 6 elimination 13th. Believe it or not, this was actually the team that finished with the most elims in this entire eval cup, getting 21 total elims, and that was even with Queasy crashing in their 3rd game today. There's a lot of things going around right now that like, oh, Queasy and Vino, the vibes are terrible on this duo, they're gonna split as soon as they possibly can, and this team is never gonna work out. I don't know if I'm necessarily ready to go that far yet. Maybe if they have like a super bad dud performance in the finals this weekend, then we could potentially start to have some more of these conversations, but these guys have literally only been together for a week. I feel like we really gotta let some of these duos get adjusted to playing with each other again, and they still, even in this eval cup, looked very solid. 6th place was Momsy and Sato, 7th place was Akira in Skyjump, 8th place was Wheat and Frizzy, 9th place was Splash, and then rounding out the top 10 was Weiss. For how our other big name duos did, we had like 13th place of Focus and MrSavage. They only had one good game on the day, getting a 6 elimination 4th. This duo did end up taking a lot of mid-game fights. I'm not gonna be like super critical of their performance since it was quite literally the first time these guys have ever played together before. It is a little bit unfortunate that we didn't really get to see what the vibes actually look like between these guys, if they seem to be like making jokes, enjoying playing with each other, because Savage wasn't streaming. So I literally have no clue what these guys think of playing with each other after their first ever tournament together. But I like the vision of MrSavage just being that hard IGL, playing with somebody who is a super crazy and good fighter, and Focus himself has even said that he wants to move to 0 ping as well, and I feel like Focus is just one of those players that is a completely different player when he's on 0 ping compared to his normal ping, which I'm pretty sure he plays on like 50 or 60. So I personally do kind of hope that these guys stick together, but I really have no clue what's going to end up happening. Some of our other kind of unfortunate underperformers today was like 42nd place of Mongrel and Marco. Their best game of the day was a 2 elimination 4th, so not necessarily like the worst game for them, but they did just have some issues getting W keyed a lot of their games. And then 46th place, we did have Pablo and Marius. These guys were contested almost every single one of their games, and unfortunately did not have any games inside of even the top 25 today. Moving on to the final statistics now for the Eval Cup finals, the highest damage ratio was Darm with a 2.63. I feel like we always just see one of the Polish boys on the top of the damage ratios. Most of the time it's because of surge trading, but still, huge shout out to Darm. The most damage to players was Akira with 3,853, and then the most elims has also just seemed to be dominated by Chap recently, especially on EU, finishing with 13 total elims. Skyjump was in second with 10, Ferdoxy in third, also with 10, Vino in 4th, Akira in 5th, Chino in 6th, Trexter in 7th, Velry in 8th, Nafrizzy in 9th, and then Ziffy in 10th with 7. The most assists was Ferdoxy with 19, and then you guys can see everybody else here as well. Other than that though, remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are currently on the road to 120,000 subscribers, and I truly do love and appreciate every single person that subs up to the channel. If you guys want to support me even more, especially during the Double X Creator Fund this weekend, please use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. YouTube says enjoy one of these 2 videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. I love all you guys, man. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.